Good afternoon, you two. Welcome back. I hope you had a good lunch break, and I hope that you have finished saying Birkat Hamazon and your Sidurim are away. We're going to learn this afternoon about the shofar. Now, I think you're going to enjoy this lesson because I know from our time together that you know quite a lot about this subject. So I think it's going to be very, very manageable for you. We're going to start off by asking a question actually before we listen. And the question is, what are the different notes that we make on the shofar? And I know you all know that because I know when I've blown the shofar so far this term, you've all been really keen to point it out. So who can tell me the different notes on the shofar? So I hope you started off by saying tikiyah. Can I hear you say doing a tikiyah? Now, I didn't bring my shofar, I'm afraid. I left it in school. So we're just going to have to make a noise with our mouth and pretend it's a shofar. Okay, who can do what's the next note, actually? Well, I hope you said shivarim. And what does that sound like? Shall we do it together? So it's 3 medium length sounds, as opposed to the tikiyah, which was 1 longer sound. And now what is the third note we blow? Teruah, well done. Yeah, you're quite right. And what sound does that make? Shall we do it together? Lots of little sounds. Usually they do 9 little sounds, so that's how we normally do it. And finally, what's the last note that they blow at the end of all of the blasts? Tikiyah Gadola, that's right. It's like a tikiyah, but just a little bit longer. Let's see how long we can do it for. Big breath in. Well done. That was a super job. You really did it. I'm sure some of you are still doing it, but please stop now because we need to carry on with the lesson. Well done. Good job, though. Now, there are 4 different sounds. Let's say them. Tikiyah. Don't do the sounds. Just say the note. Tikiyah, shivarim, teruah, tikiyah gedola. Brilliant. And we know the names and we know the sounds. So let's have a look. I'm going to share my screen. I think you all know it by now, but I'm going to share it in any case because I want to do it with you here on the board. Just make sure everyone knows it. So here we go. I just need to make that a little bit smaller so you can see it. There we go. So tikiyah, I've drawn it on the board. You can see it's got one, not so long, quite a long line, one long line. That's how we show it, because if you think about the sound, it's just like one long line. There's no break in the sound from the beginning of it to the end of it. And it's quite long, but not very, very long. Shivarim, we've done with 3 medium-sized lines because they're medium length sounds with a break in between each one. That's why they're 3 separate lines. So it's and finally teruah, you can see lots of smaller lines, and that's how we do it. With each one's got a little break between that one and the next one. So it's and finally at the bottom there, the blue line is tikiyah gedola, shown by 1 long line because it's 1 long sound. Okay, let's stop that now. Okay, so if I were to give you now, who can remember? Those are the things. Let me teach you something actually new that we didn't discuss. The person who blows the notes on the shofar, the person who blows the shofar for everybody in shul, is called a Baal Toke'ah. It sounds a bit like tikiyah, doesn't it? So he's called a Baal Toke'ah. Can we say that together? My turn, your turn. Baal Toke'ah. Brilliant. Baal Toke'ah. Your turn. Brilliant. And that person blows all of the different notes of the shofar. Now let me just remember, when do we blow the shofar? Now I hope you said on Rosh Hashanah. That's really important because that's a big mitzvah to blow on Rosh Hashanah. But there's also a minhag, which we do every day in Elul, but not on Shabbat. Not on Shabbat, no. But every day apart from on Shabbat, during Elul, we also blow the shofar. Why do we blow the shofar at this time? I think sure somebody can be chosen from the class to say an answer on behalf of the class. And hopefully what you said was to wake us up, to remind us to do teshuvah, not to actually wake us up. We're not really sleeping, but to remind us to do teshuvah. Now, there's one more thing I want to do, two more things actually. Here's the next page. Now, who can put the right note to the right place? So hopefully, if you think about it, Tikia is going to be which one? Okay, if you think it's a blue line, put one finger up. If you think it's the red lines, put two fingers up. The purple line, put three fingers up. And if you think it's the orange lines, put four fingers up. Tikia. Oh, well done. I think you put three fingers up for Tekia. Well done. Now let's do the next one. Shavarim. If you think it's the blue line, one finger. If you think it's the red lines, two fingers. If you think it's the orange line, three fingers. Orange lines, I should say, three fingers. Oh, well done. Number three. Well done. Now what about Teruah? Which one is it? Is it one or two? One if you think it's the blue. Two if you think it's the red. Two is right. Well done. Teruah. And finally, well, we've got Tiki Gotola, so there's nothing to vote for there. So we've put the sounds in the right order. The last thing I want to show you is the bracha we say before we blow the shofar. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so we can all see it really well. It's a nice picture of a beautiful shofar and a very special looking gentleman there blowing it. But the important thing I want you to look at, rather than the picture, are the words. So we say a bracha before we blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, not in Elul, but on Rosh Hashanah, because that's when it's a mitzvah to blow the shofar. And the bracha goes like this. I'm not going to say Hashem's name today, but when we say it on Rosh Hashanah, of course, we do say it with Hashem's name. So I'll just say Hashem and Elokeinu. But obviously, in Shul, we say Hashem's name properly. So I'm going to say it my turn, and then we'll read it together. The first time, just me, and then we'll do it together. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmo'a kol shofar. That means Hashem commanded us to hear, lishmo'a, to hear, like Shema, to hear the kol, the sound of the shofar. Let's say it together. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmo'a kol shofar. Very important bracha. Now, the activities today are as follows. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because you don't need to see that anymore. The activities are as follows. You have got to, if you've got the green sheet with the green walt, so you are going to write the names of the different notes in the appropriate boxes, but you're also going to draw the notes, just like we saw it drawn on the screen there with different lines showing the different notes. You're going to draw that and also write the names of the four different notes. And there's a question at the bottom for you to answer. If you've got the yellow walt, so you are going to draw the notes of the shofar. You don't have to write them because they're already written there. But you are going to also answer a question. However, you've also got some helpful words at the bottom of your page, which might help you to answer that question. So use the helpful word box, which will help you to answer that question at the bottom of your page if you have the yellow walt. And those of you who have the red walt, you are going to just draw the sounds of the notes of the shofar with different lines with spaces or not spaces, depending on which note you're drawing. And you are going to also answer the question at the bottom of the page. So I wish you hatzlacha with that. And at the end, I'm sure your teacher will have a little treat for you, because I'm sure you'll have a little practice and see who can blow the best notes on the pretend shofar just with your mouths, but we'll see who can do the best ones. Okay, so if you do that really well and finish it really well, that will be the treat at the end of the lesson. I wish you a very good afternoon, and I hope to see you back in school. I hope to be back in school with you very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.